utilized in our day-to-day living and in our eating. Bless us now, we pray in Jesus' name. Amen. All right. Again, good morning, everyone. This is Pastor Atkinson and Sister Atkinson, and we want to share with you one of um, our family dishes, one that we like a lot, or we have grown to like a lot, and it is something that a lot of folks don't like. Do you know what this is?
Tofu.
Anybody? This is tofu, and a lot of folks, when they prepare it, they say, "Oh, I don't like the taste. It's, people have different things to say." Well, we're going to show you how to prepare a tasty, healthy tofu dish. Today, we're going to be preparing pineapple, Jamaican style, a pineapple tofu for you. And sometimes I'll do a little mix of jerk pineapple tofu. So that's what we're going to be preparing this morning for you. This can be done over white rice, rice and peas, and even some good whole wheat dumplings and some yam or whatever you want to do it over. And it's just a really healthy dish. Obviously, you know, tofu is bean curd. So tofu comes from soybeans, and it is very nutritious. It's a nutritious way of gaining healthy proteins, and so
high in protein but low in the cholesterol.
Okay, so did you get that? So high in protein, low in cholesterol, and different trans fats that you normally find in meat. So what are we preparing today? Well, I'm just gonna pan this way so you can see what's on the counter right now. On our counter right now, you're seeing our tofu right. Hopefully you're seeing our tofu right here. And this was prepared normally. We use extra firm tofu. And the reason for that is it works better when you're doing stuff like the recipe that I'm doing today. There are other recipes where softer tofus are good, but extra firm tofu for this one. We are preparing some tomatoes, onions, peppers, garlic, sweet peppers. And then we have our various seasonings here that we're going to be using, like garlic. We use a lot of garlic. Garlic is excellent for the immune system, anti-inflammatory. It is really good. It's a booster, also protecting you from like viruses and so forth, and infection. So that is an excellent one. And so we have our fresh garlic here, and normally we use maybe a few cloves of this, maybe about 5 cloves of this. And then we have our peppers, which is also very good for your health. We have our pineapple, tomato, and all the good stuff. You can see them over here. So we're gonna start mixing and dealing right now, okay? All right, so normally I'm gonna just jump in my pantry right here. I use either sea salt or I use Himalayan salt, or what you call pink salt. And so that's the type of salt I use. I also like to use ginger, and ginger is another very, something that's very good for your health also. And then instead of using like black pepper that a lot of folks like to use, I'll tend to use, where is it? Our red pepper flakes, or our Jamaican, some people say country pepper, you know? All right, so that's what we normally use. Let me take out one of my mixing pans, and then we're gonna start going at it. It's not gonna be big enough. All right, I'm gonna turn this over to Sister Atkins, and then you're gonna see how I prepare the tofu. All right, so first, wash your hands. You have to just turn it outside like this. So let's come this way. So first you want to wash your hands really good. You know, they say wash the back of your hands, palms, between your fingers, your fingernails, and the whole works, and get yourself ready. All right. So you wash your hands, and then we're ready to go now. Just come over here. We're gonna get to our tofu. Now, for our tofu, for me, especially when I'm doing this dish, I like to keep them as small as possible. Well, in preparation for your tofu, what I would suggest that you do is that you take your tofu, you put a drain cloth on it, and you put it to the side. So most of your water is drained out of your tofu. You won't see much water coming from it. And let me just say, you can also ask questions if you want to, as we are going. And nobody told me how much time I had, so I'll slice the tofu this way, and then I'm gonna cut again in the opposite direction. So you'll get pieces, bits like this. Why do I do that, or why do we do that? We do that because you want it to, one, season all the way through.
Absorb all the seasonings
and then you also want to be able to, for it to get fried all the way through. And so that's why we do it that way. And you can do smaller bits. You can even go again and cut it like that. It's up to you, you know. That's just as good. You can do it just like that.
if you want smaller bites or larger bites, that's going to be up to you.
And it will work just as fine. All right. Now you're gonna need also, and we'll try to put the recipe up. You know, we are typical Jamaican people. We don't write out any recipe. That make it kind of tough, but we put a recipe up for you after we're finished, or the recipe up for you. It's okay. After we're finished, you can pan it down if you want. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to be utilizing first the dry seasonings. I'll put dry, and then I'll put one wet seasoning. And so I'm going to ask Mr. Atkins just to be passing my dry seasonings for me. I'm going to start with my pink salt.
And that's the pink salt has more of the minerals as compared to the table salt. Then we have the garlic.
And we're going to get to garlic. And for me, you can't give me enough garlic. I use a lot of garlic. And what I find is that, and I'll do this. All right, then we're gonna use our paprika. You're good on that side. You can put it from all the way down. You can put this, okay? So we're gonna use some paprika. I guess you want to see what is going on inside the thing here. Just put it down. I'm gonna use a little paprika, and I like to separate them because we tend to do two things. All right, then we will use a little parsley. You don't have to use parsley. You can keep it really simple. You know, you can throw on your basil, your parsley, and those, but you can keep it simple. Now, I'm gonna also use, and this is a big one for Jamaican, your thyme. We always wanna put some thyme that keeps it nice and really natural flavor to it. And that's
Pastor, can you speak a little louder, please?
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, so I said you wanna use your thyme. The thyme gives it a really nice natural and earthy fragrance, and that's just excellent. And so, did you get that? You're hearing what I'm saying? Let me just. Is that better?
Yes, go ahead.
There you go. So what we have here, we have our salt, we have our garlic, we have our red peppers, we have our parsley, we have what else? Our Himalayan salt or pink salt and all of that. If you can't get that, you can buy kosher salt. That's also good. It's not as good, but it's also good. All right. So we're good with that. Now, what I'm gonna do, and you can use also onion powder, but I use just the natural onion, but you can use onion powder. That's excellent. Also, I'm gonna be having for some of my wet rub, I'm gonna place a little of our jerk seasoning on it. Normally I would make my home jerk seasoning, but don't have time to do that today. So you pop inside the refrigerator. Yeah. And so I'm gonna show you, I'm just gonna get that open and going. And also let me tell you, just for safety, especially in this time, you know, you don't know whatever you purchase at the store, wash it, wash the bottle before you pack it away in your refrigerator and wherever. So I'm just using island spice jerk. Normally I'll do this, we'll prepare this ourselves, you know, we'll buy the seasonings and we'll prepare this ourselves. But today we're just gonna use a little bit of this. Let me just get mine. I use my little measuring spoon. I don't want a whole lot. Sometimes this tend to be spicy, and this is one of my dry rubs. And then I'll use also a little ketchup. And that moving for, if for you want to add extra, it's up to you. You know, some of these tend to be spicy and some people don't like a whole lot of spice. All right, so that's good to go. For me, I really don't taste much when I'm doing these things. Sister Atkins is the same. We don't taste a whole lot when we're doing these things. If you observe, we didn't put on it any ginger. This is our ginger powder. We didn't put ginger powder on it. Ginger powder tends to cake. And so you want to, if you're gonna use your ginger, you're using your fresh, what do you call it now?
Ginger knobs.
Ginger knobs. And it would be best you grab your grater and just grate it straight into your pan. All right, we're gonna come right over here, and I'm gonna pop my. You have to do over up top. So I'm gonna pop my. Stovetop on, and I have it on. It's on high, and what I'm using here, I'm using natural, what they call it, coconut oil, not the additives, none of the preservatives, none of that. And I'm using just a little bit. But come over here and let me show you something real quickly. If we had the time, and sometimes, depending on what you're doing, it takes us time, I would pop it into my air fryer. And the air fryer does an excellent job. Some people, they want a different taste or whatever, but I would tend to pop it into my air fryer and that would be just as good.
You also have the option of baking it if you're having to watch your
calories,
fats,
your fats.
Calories, you can bake it.
Yeah,
as well.
Definitely. All right, so this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like. I hope you're catching that in the pan before you put it in the frying pan. I'm using my skillet today, and I'm gonna turn him down to about 3, and then I'm gonna be popping this into my pan. All right, are you ready, everyone? Let me see if my oil is hot. And how do I do that? A lot of times when I'm testing the oil for flavor, I'll put a little garlic in it, or a little piece of the onion. and that will just flavor up. And that's just a little before I go straight to putting in the rest of the stuff. The summit.
Excuse me,
Yes.
Pastor.
Yes.
I just logged on. Could you tell me what you're cooking, please?
If I could tell you what?
We're cooking pineapple tofu.
What are you cooking?
Pineapple
Tofu.
tofu.
Yes, pineapple
Okay,
tofu. But
I want to know how to cook tofu.
all right. So this is where we're at. So now I'm gonna put my tofu in. Pineapple. All right. Here we go. And I'm just using one cube of tofu. That's all I'm using. Now what you want to get it evenly distributed so you can fry it. I love this skillet because the pan is set that I can really do a lot of stir frying or sauteing in it. And so I really like using this one, but anything would work. Any of your pots will really work. All right. So we're gonna get that going, and we're gonna go over here and just ensure that all of our seasonings are coming. Sister Atkins, you wanna come with me here? And watch this. This is really Jamaican cooking now, you know. So I don't wash out my pan because I'm gonna use it for little gravy. Don't waste anything. This is what? This is crisis time. Don't waste anything.
Quarantine cooking.
Quarantine cooking. So don't waste anything. All right. All right. So we have here our tomatoes, our sweet peppers, our onion, our garlic. And as I told you, I like me a little extra garlic. So I'm always gonna do just a little extra there. And so I'm gonna be adding that to my dish. And so while that is going, what I'm waiting on, and sorry for the camera just be moving, but we're just trying to catch it as best as we can. So what I'm waiting on here is that one side of that will be done, and then I'm gonna turn it again of the tofu in the pan. And you want to watch your tofu. It tends to be sauteed or fried pretty quickly. For us, we try not to do a lot of frying, but we know that some people still do a little of it. And so if you use a little of your oils, and especially use some good oil, if you're gonna use coconut oil, a little bit coconut oil, if you use, vegetable oil a little. Or you can also use olive oil, which is good, virgin olive oil. Let's go and look at it now. Come on over here, Sister Atkinson. All right, starting to look. Oh, so that's coming together really nice now. So if you could smell this, this is just really, really good. Really, really good. All right. If you could only smell this, it's just the aroma is excellent, just excellent. And you want to just spread it out. So, and Sister Agnes, you just take up one of them for me, and just so I can see it. So you see, if I can get one, it would be brown, getting brown on each side. That's what you want. All right. All right. All right, so we're gonna set that again, and we're gonna leave it. And you can fry it, get it as firm as you want it. And man, if you could just smell this thing, it is really good. Now, and at another time, we're gonna teach you or show you how to do scrambled tofu for your breakfast. Now we're doing like a brunch, so we're doing our Jamaican pineapple jerk tofu. But like for your breakfast, you can do a scrambled tofu, and we can show you how to do that. But just an excellent source of your simple proteins, plant-based protein, excellent. All right.
And when you do the scrambled tofu, you're doing it like in place of eggs. So still kind of noticing how it's kind of building texture and it's giving it a chance to soak up the seasonings and the flavorings and get some of that crunch.
Okay, and we're back over here. I'm going to be cutting up just a little bit of my pepper. As I said, you know, you might not want to have it really hot,
Don't put that.
but I put a little in it because I'm a spice guy. I like spice. I like a little spice, you know? So I put a little spice in it. But for those of you who don't like a lot of spice, that's fine too. Then
so for those who have like concerns with their stomach or digestion, you can always omit the pepper.
yes. Now what I have here, and I would like to show, could you just run over here? That's good. This is my onion. Well, what we do,
Scallion.
pardon me, our scallion, what we do with this, Sister Atkinson does this with a lot of stuff. We will buy these things in bulk a lot of times, and because we know that now they are telling you that you can't go to the market such and such a time, or we shouldn't be going out so often, we buy it in bulk, then we dice it up, put it in bags, Ziploc or other bags, and we put it in our deep freeze. So if you look in our deep freeze, you'll see different things that we store and freeze, and it's just as good. I'm gonna grab a spoon. And what I have right here, I'm gonna just be using a little onion also. Yeah, I'm gonna just take a little onion out, and then, you know, it makes it, sorry, I'm saying onion, scallion, or green onion as they call it overseas. But I'll just use a little bit of it because I like the flavor. And then it is nice and good because guess what? You don't have to be cutting it up all the time. It's already ready to use. And then you just lock that up and drop it back in your refrigerator and you're good to go. All right, let's go back over here and see where we are at. All right, I think we're ready now. I think we're ready to go. It's looking really nice. It's well done. As a matter of fact, I tell you this, some people, when they get to this place, it's done for them. They eat it just like that. But for us, you know, Jamaicans, we have to go a little bit further because we have to have it really nice and ready to go. So that's ready. That's nice. That's ready. All right. You can still do a little bit, go a little bit further. You can still go a little bit further and fry it if you want to fry it a little bit more. But please, if you want to be healthy, you don't want to be frying too much, okay? You don't want to be frying too much. All right, so I'm gonna go now. I'm going to be getting tomato ketchup, and then I'm gonna be adding my dry seasonings. Come on.
You mean your fresh seasonings?
My fresh seasonings. All right. And as I said, you know, we buy a whole lot of stuff in bulk, big bulk stuff. And let me see.
It's just a way of saving, more economical, especially things that you know that you use a lot.
And what am I doing now? I have here a mixture, a little mixture between my orange juice and pineapple. And you're gonna have a little bit, just a little of that we're gonna be using. Sorry for moving so fast. Sister Atkins is trying to keep me on camera. All right, I think we're ready to go. What do you think, Sister?
Yes, we're ready.
Ready? All right, good. Hope everybody's catching this. Let me check if just hold this for me. Are there any questions? All right, I'm seeing no questions. All right, so now we have all our fresh seasonings, and look at all of that. Isn't that lovely? That's just lovely, huh? Now come here. What we're gonna be doing, we're gonna be adding that to our pot. Now, let me say this to you. Normally we would do this, but today I didn't have any fresh ginger. Did we have fresh ginger? Okay, but I didn't take out any fresh ginger, or else I would have just grated ginger in with oil. Yeah, and ginger is extremely good, like garlic. All right, so I'm gonna be putting in my onion, my scallion, my garlic, my sweet pepper, my fresh pepper, that's my country pepper as we call it. And now our pot is looking really nice. The colors are looking good. And then we're gonna add our tomatoes. All right, and now I think we have something going. What do you think, Sister Atkins? We have something going? All right, I'm gonna let Sister Atkinson just take a little time and tell you a little bit about the benefits, just a little bit of the benefits of the different things that we are using. And she's a person that uses a lot of different things. So I'm gonna have her just share with you a little bit of the benefits.
Just like we were mentioning, so when we use plant-based, when we go plant-based, we get all the health benefits that God gave us from Eden, but without the cholesterol and the overload that we get with animal-based meals. Okay, and so we can have our more than enough protein. We have our healthy whole carbs. We have our healthy fats, and what that does is it brings a lot of balance. And our bodies are nourished and ready to handle the demands that COVID and all the different stressors are placing on our systems.
Okay. All right. What's next? Well, I'm going to add now my pineapples. So I'm going to add, I'm not using a whole lot of pineapples. If I was just doing just pineapple tofu only, I would do that. And I can tell you another little trick, For some of you, you want to brown this thing, you can, and I am old fashioned. When I grew up, my mom taught me how to cook this way. Sister Atkinson, mom, same way. Both of us came from similar places. I would just do a little brown, not browning, but a little bit of sugar or molasses to brown the tofu how you want it. Understand? For me, as long as the garlic does a good job, and so I leave it like that. Now I'm gonna add my pineapples. Some people, you would want to add your pineapples even before because they like when their pineapples are brown a little bit. I don't mind one way or the other. And so I add it later because I wanna keep it fresh and nice. Man, this thing is smelling so good. This thing is smelling so good. Man, can you imagine getting this over some white rice or rice and peas or bunga rice and peas with some plantains on the side?
Some quinoa.
Oh man, some quinoa, some couscous. Oh,
some
excellent.
Sweet potatoes.
Yeah, some baked sweet potatoes. And just excellent.
Some renta yam.
Oh, she's going all out, huh? All right, so what I have now is some tomato ketchup, and I'm not gonna use a whole lot because sometimes tomato ketchup seems to be overpowering, so I use just a little, and it's up to you, your taste. Because guess what? When we finish with this, we're actually gonna eat it. This is not just a demo. This is called.
It's called breakfast.
This is called brunch, not breakfast. So put a little tomato ketchup in, and you're sauteing. And what you are seeing now, you're seeing all of our dry seasonings, our garlics, our ketchup, our all of our fresh seasoning, pardon me, and that's what you're seeing. Man, that is so good. So good. Now, I'm just gonna add, finally, just a little orange juice, or sometimes we'll do a little twist orange, and Sister Atkinson does a lot of this where we squeeze orange juice and we do pineapple. And so a little, but you can also buy your what's called true juice, orange juice, and that's fine too. But I do a little, not too much. And that's just for our household, We don't, a little is good. As the song says, little is much when God is in it. All right, we're looking good. We're looking good. What do you think, Sister Atkinson? Are we looking good?
Yes, we sure are.
We are looking good. All right. All right. Just about finished. All right, so this is what we're looking like right now. And man, let me tell you something. You want to smell this thing. You want to smell this thing. Now I'm gonna move over here and turn my stove off because we're done. We finished. And I'm gonna move over here, because you wanna help me out right here. And then I'm gonna just put it on my stirring plate. Just as nice as that. Look at that. No sticking, no lots of oil and all of that type of stuff. You can literally go wipe your pan out and use it again. That's how good this thing is looking. So that's how we are looking with this thing. And what went into this? Our pineapples, our peppers, our tomato, and all of that good stuff. Sister Atkinson is gonna be my testing lady. She's gonna taste and see.
Pastor,
Yes.
did you guys figure out how we're gonna get some over here?
Man, we're still working that part out. Taste that for me, sis.
Very good.
And this is just a simple dish that anybody can do. Excellent. You grab some of your tomatoes, some of your pineapple, and the whole works. Perfect. Perfect. Wow.
Pastor.
Yeah.
Pastor?
Yes, I'm here.
Are you gonna invite us over for dinner?
Come on over. Come on over. So this. Hey, listen, this you can do.
Kingston is not on the lockdown. We still have 10.
Yeah, Kingston, we still can do. Okay. We still can do a dinner of 10. That's true.
The first 10. All right, we're on our way.
We'll prepare the gungo rice and peas, some plantain, and whatever else, we can do it. But this is a simple dish, saints, just from our kitchen, something that we prepare all the time. And it is inexpensive, it is filling, and it is healthy. And it gives you all the different benefits that you're looking for. For instance, your natural fats, your natural proteins, carbs, and all the other things that you're looking for. And so with your seasonings, and you have that all over Jamaica. That's the best thing. You can get it in the grocery store, you can get it at the market, and so on. And then your bean curd or your tofu, you can also get it. Now, this is finally, before we run out. Trick with your tofu. A lot of people cook the tofu and it is not seasoned all the way through. One, you can season your tofu just like you do with meat. Put it down overnight, especially if you're doing like a bake or a jerk tofu and you do your jerk season. Cover it up, put it in your refrigerator.
Let it marinate.
Before you do your before you marinate it, you want to drain it put it down and let the water be seep from it. You can put something on it, as I said, a cloth or something, get as much of the fluid out and the water out as possible. Then when you do it, man, when you cut this thing all the way through and through, you'll be getting good, tasty tofu. All your juices are in it and it's excellent. So that's it from your pastors and pastors' wives kitchen for today. This is our jerk pineapple tofu from Pastor and Sister Atkinson.
Pastor, don't go yet. Remember to put up the recipe.
Oh my word. I'm gonna have to put it up after. I don't have it set on my phone, you know. I'm using my phone. Yeah.
Oh.
So I'm gonna have to put it in the group.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it in the group. So remember now, use your natural stuff, saints. These things are excellent. Thank you, Sister Grant, for
the mangoes.
the mangoes, and my elder gave me potatoes and so forth. Thank you, everyone. But this can be used for brunch, lunch, or dinner. God bless you. Keep healthy, keep safe, and just keep using the things that God has given to us to keep our bodies going. That's it from the Pastor's Kitchen for today, and we are going
Catch you next week.
Catch you
Thank
next
you.
week.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Be healthy. God bless you.
Catch